Hello, my name's Tom Palmer and this is my book, Over the Line. Chapter 1. It was the day of my debut as a professional footballer. My dream had come true. But even when your dream comes true, you still have to keep trying. Within a minute of kick-off, Fred Bullock passed the ball to me, who's my team captain at Huddersfield Town. I controlled the ball with my left foot, then played it wide to our winger. So far, so good. It was now my duty to get into the penalty area. I was a forward, I was a goal scorer. Our winger would cross the ball soon, so I needed to get upfield. The mud was thick on the pitch, even though the game had only just begun. A Grimsby defender tracked me as I powered towards the goal, Sid Wheelhouse. His deep furrowed frown made him look like a bull, and he was big too, big and strong. The ball came in from the left. I strained every muscle to reach it. I lunged towards the Grimsby keeper, but somehow Wheelhouse had come between us. I hit him hard, but just bounced off him, and the keeper collected the ball close to his chest. No goal, not a sniff of a goal, and I wanted one. The first half of that first game was tough. I didn't get past Wheelhouse once. He tracked my runs, he beat me to the ball, he protected his goalkeeper. When the referee blew the whistle for half-time, I put my hands on my knees. All that effort and nothing to show for it. I felt a fierce frustration inside, a sense of panic that things weren't going to plan. I had to do better in the second half, or this could end up being my last game as a professional footballer, as well as my first. I followed my teammates off the pitch, the sweat on my body cooling now. I had stopped running. Fred Bullock came up to me and gave me a powerful slap on the back. He pushed back his dark hair and smiled. "You worked hard," he said. Got into the right places. Keep doing what you're doing." I nodded, still too breathless to talk, but I was pleased. Perhaps I hadn't been as bad as I thought. As we walked off the pitch, I saw a group of people gathered by the players' tunnel. They were shouting and waving wooden signs. "Who are they?" I asked Bullock. "Protesters," he replied. "Protesters," I said. "Against what?" "Against footballers," he said. "You and me. They're angry that we're playing football instead of fighting." It meant fighting in France as soldiers. The year was 1914 and our country was at war. The Germans had invaded Belgium and France, and the British Army were over there fighting them. Tens of thousands of men had volunteered to join up. "That bald man is an MP," Bullock went on. "He thinks there should be a battalion of football players." I looked at the protesters as we passed. I understood why they wanted men to fight, young men like me. But this was my debut as a professional footballer. Why should a war become between me and my big chance, a war that would be over in weeks? Then a woman stepped out of the crowd and reached to give me something. Her hand was so cold that it shocked me. I took what she had given me, but I kept walking. "Who was that woman?" I asked Bullock as we walked towards the tunnel. "Roebuck's wife," he said. Larratt Roebuck was a Huddersfield Town player who had been killed by the Germans 2 months before. I'd put some money in a fund for his family when he died. And now Roebuck's wife had given me a piece of paper torn from a magazine. Bullock and I looked at it together. It was a cartoon of a character called Mr. Punch. He was talking to a footballer at the side of the pitch. "No doubt you can make money on the football field," it said, "but there's only one field where you can get honour." "What does that mean?" I asked Bullock. Bullock paused, then he asked, "You're making money playing football today?" "Yes, of course," I said. "It's my job, I get paid." "The cartoon is asking," he said, "if you get honour from it too, as well as money." "Honour?" I asked, "like I would get if I was fighting." "That's it," Bullock said. His face was serious. "That question is for you and me. How can we play on a football field when men like Roebuck are dying in France in a field of war? We need to go too. That's the honourable thing to do." I nodded. I understood now. I also understood that Sid Wheelhouse was not the biggest threat to my football career. The biggest threat was the war. "But forget that for now, Jack," Bullock said. "You need to keep your mind on today's game, right?"